Hello, welcome, and thank you so very much for joining this presentation all about the incredible cruising destination that is Europe. My name is David Craven. I am one of the key account managers here at Princess Cruises, and I am overjoyed to be discussing this destination with you today. I have literally just come back from cruising with Princess in this region, so I'm very much kind of on cloud nine, just having the opportunity to share this incredible destination with you. Now, when we're talking about Europe, quite often people instantly go to one destination, that is, of course, the Mediterranean. But there are three main cruising destinations around Europe. You could even say there's actually four, if I'm honest. So we're going to talk about all of the different destinations that guests can discover, and most importantly, why they should discover them with Princess Cruises. Now, when we're talking about Europe, this is such a famous destination for a number of reasons, but this continent is home to some of the most iconic, well-known culture, cuisine, but also some of the most beautiful and dramatic landscapes to be found anywhere in the world. It's a great place for romance, for food lovers, for history buffs. It doesn't really matter what it is that you are trying to get out of your cruise holiday. Europe is going to have something for absolutely everyone. Now, the three main core reasons why people choose Europe as a cruising destination is for its very, very famous history with the Greek history, the Roman history. You've got, of course, all the Druids. You've got the Vikings. The list goes on and on and on. The cuisine. Europe is home to some of the most famous and beloved cuisine to be found anywhere in the world. We're talking about pizza, pasta. We're talking about the fine dining of France. We're talking about the beautiful family-style dining of Spain. And don't forget the humble British Sunday roast and pie and chips. So many different cuisines. Doesn't matter what your palate enjoys, you're going to find something in Europe to kind of tick that box. And it's also home to some of the most stunning landscapes anywhere in the world. It's not something that a lot of people instantly go to. But when you're thinking of the island of Capri, it is absolutely drop dead gorgeous and so dramatic. Greece as a nation is 80% mountain. 80% mountainous. So what you have are these beautiful dramatic mountains borderline plunging into the gorgeous Mediterranean Sea. And then you've got, of course, the Norwegian coastline. The list goes on and on. So there is 100% something for every single type of cruise traveler. The weather in Europe can be diverse. So like I said, we're not just talking about the Mediterranean, we're talking about the Med, the UK and Northern Europe. The Mediterranean, our season is typically March through till November. Expect the kind of cooler climate around that March through till May time, when in the Mediterranean, still very, very pleasant. We're talking that kind of 25 degrees centigrade. But as soon as you get into July and August, the Mediterranean does get very, very hot. I was recently in the Med in August. The June, July and August of 2024 was the hottest June, July and August on record, so in history, for both Greece and for Italy. The Acropolis was closed something like 70% of August. It is very, very hot. And of course, July and August is the Northern Hemisphere's school holidays. So not only is it very, very warm, it's going to be the busiest time to be there. So if clients are flexible on when they would like to cruise or where they would like to explore the Mediterranean, I strongly recommend the shoulder season. So April, May, September, October. Still really, really pleasant, beautiful time to be there, but you're going to avoid those huge crowds. And when I do say huge crowds, a good example would be something like St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican. Now, in the height of the season, July and August, they receive 38,000 visitors a day. That isn't the Vatican Museum where you've got the Sistine Chapel. This is quite simply St. Peter's Basilica. On the flip side, I remember when I went to Rome, I think it was about the second or third time I was there It was late March and early April. Went into St. Peter's and there was absolutely no queue. I was with my girlfriend. We walked in. There was only 2 nuns and 2 American people in St. Peter's. You could tell they were American because you could hear them before we got in there. Now, the great thing is we could enjoy it. We could walk around and be absolutely overawed by the beauty of that incredible and iconic building. So if people are flexible, definitely try and get to the Mediterranean in those shoulder seasons. When we're talking about the British Isles, let's face it, it never gets too hot or too cold. It's pretty mild most of the time. But if you're going to be there around that March through till May time, that is spring. And as soon as spring has sprung, it is the wettest time of the year. So expect those spring showers. One of the benefits of that, though, in the UK is it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. You'll see daffodils, you'll see bluebells. If you're going up to the Lake District in the northwest, it's absolutely enchanting and it really will take your breath away. You'll get a beautiful side of the UK. Obviously, June through August are the drier periods. But still expect some showers. You're never really going to get temperatures too much more than, say, 27, 28 in the height of the summer. Be warned, though, a British 27 or 28 is a lot hotter than an Australian 27 or 28, I promise you. But remember, with the UK, as my mother always said, there is no such thing as bad weather, just wrong clothing. So come prepared. And last but not least, the beautiful part of Northern Europe. So we're talking about the Baltic region. We're talking about the North Sea, so that gorgeous Norwegian coastline, as well as Iceland and Greenland. This is heading up to and into the Arctic Circle, so expect very cool climates, especially at nighttime. As soon as the sun does go down or tries to go down, it is definitely going to be the cooler time of day. Expect temperatures around that 15 degrees centigrade, and that's in the height of the summer. Now, when you are cruising in Northern Europe, if you are lucky enough to get up into the Arctic Circle, then July and August, you actually won't get any nighttime. It will literally be sunshine all the time. So sometimes people say, I always want a balcony. Balcony is the way I cruise. I want to be able to step outside and enjoy it. Just kind of think about, hey, am I a light sleeper? You probably actually might get a better night's sleep in an interior in that location then. So that's the weather found across the continent of Europe. Now, what we want to do is make sure that our guests are enjoying everything that Europe has to offer. Now, one of the best ways to do this is by our shore excursions. Now, when we're looking at shore excursion offerings, the great thing is with Princess, we literally highlight what you can expect out of that shore excursion. So if you want to do something because it's historical or cultural, then it will let you know. If you're wanting to highlight something to do with food or wine, if you want something that's to do with wildlife, so on and so forth. But it will also break down how intensive the activity is, because some do genuinely include a hike up towards the top of a mountain, something in Norway, maybe even Kotor, Montenegro, to get to the top where the castle is there. So depending on how able people are and how willing they are, because not people may be able to do the hike, but they just might not want to. So make sure that you're going through and highlighting the perfect kind of shore excursion for your client. It doesn't really matter what people want out their experience. We will have the perfect tour for them. Now, with shore excursions, there are some cruise ports that I would strongly recommend getting a shore excursion to make the most of it, but it's not obligatory in all ports of call. Take Mykonos, for instance. Mykonos is a beautiful, beautiful island. And you can literally just get off there and walk. Just literally stroll the streets, enjoy some souvlaki, get a gyros, try the beautiful local Greek wine, and just make the most of that idyllic Greek island. So it's not mandatory in all ports of call, but somewhere like Livorno, which is the gateway through to Tuscany, if you're wanting to get to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa and that beautiful little township of Pisa, then I would strongly recommend getting a shore excursion because it is quite a way out. And for instance, the Pisa tours do often include Florence as well. So you're going to get to see Il Duomo, get to see David and all those things. So depending on the port of call, it's always worthwhile making sure that you're not going to be missing out on any of these ports. Now, regardless of what cruise you are doing, we have got Europe covered. We are visiting over 101 destinations and we have more than 222 departures for both 25 and 26. Now in 2025, we have fewer ships. But in 2025, we have more ships than 2026. But 2026 actually has more variety when it comes to the cruise itineraries. So you may not necessarily see always the same itinerary. It may not be as flexible. So make sure that you're selecting the correct year. So 2025 or 2026, because the itineraries do definitely differ. We have more cruise tours than ever, and we can talk about those whilst we talk about the itineraries. Before that, let's talk about the beautiful princess ships that you can cruise on in this region. Now, across 25 and 26, we have 9 different ships sailing these waters. In 2025, we have 2 of our brand new Sphere class ships sailing in the Mediterranean. The Sun Princess makes a return, and the Star Princess will be joining the fleet in October. In 2026, the Sun Princess will also be in this region, but in 2026, the Star Princess will be heading up towards Alaska. It doesn't matter which ship you're going to be sailing on, expect that fantastic princess service. But when we're talking about the brand new Sun class, this truly is the next generation of a princess cruise. I'm extremely lucky to have sailed aboard the Sun Princess twice now. I was on board in March, and I literally just sailed aboard in August with my family. We all absolutely loved it. There is something for everyone. And despite it being a much bigger ship, she is chunky. She's 4,300 lower berth. It's the biggest ship we've got in our fleet. It does not feel it. Like, genuinely, it really doesn't. The design of the ship is fantastic. It's designed to create all these different venues so people are enjoying entertainment, or they're in the Irish bar, or potentially the back of the ship in the shops. They could be upstairs in the dome enjoying some of the Cirque Aloise entertainment. There are so many different venues. There's so many different bars. There's so many different restaurants. It is just the most incredible ship, and you never ever feel like there's just a lot of people on board the ship. You just really don't. It is amazing. I love this ship. So let's look at her. She is extremely pretty, with some brand new destinations, or I should say venues, aboard the ship. What you can see there at the top of the screen is the dome. So during the daytime, this is a lovely place to lie down, just relax, go for a swim in that beautiful pool. You can actually swim underneath that screen there, and you pop out to the outdoor area where you can literally go straight up to the bar there, grab a drink, you can sunbathe outside, and then when you're a little bit toasty, if you're there in July and August, maybe jump back in the pool, swim back underneath that screen, and come back into the air-conditioned dome. During the evening time, this also becomes a late-night venue with our acrobatics team, the Cirque Aloise, as well as things like our comedians doing maybe an adults-owned comedy show. At the very end of the ship, so the very aft end of the ship, we have that stunning cantilevered infinity pool. What a place to be as you're sailing away from some of the most iconic destinations to be found anywhere in the world. Grab yourself a cocktail as we sail away from, I don't know, from Naples or from Santorini, or sailing into Piraeus in Athens. It really is a stunning part of the ship. As mentioned, Cirque Aloise are our acrobatic team who are aboard the Sun Princess. They do shows throughout the vessel. So they do shows in the Princess Arena, which is the new reimagined Princess Theatre, up in the dome, as well as in the piazza. Their entertainment is incredible. And we've got plenty of space up on the open deck, so you never struggle to get a sun lounger to make sure you're getting the most out of that Mediterranean sun. There is accommodation for all price ranges, for all wants, and for all needs. Okay, we completely reimagined the way that the cabins were actually designed. Those familiar with Princess will know that apart from the Sun class, every other class of ship, they have this kind of large walk-in wardrobe, which is where you enter the bathroom. We figured that that's just using an awful lot of space that we want to give back to the guests. We want them to have more space, more cabin space. So in the top right-hand side there, we've got the brand new Cabana class. So that is an indoor/outdoor balcony. You've basically got 2 balconies. So if the weather is rather inclement, you can close that outer window, and have that inside daybed. But of course, if it's lovely sunshine, open them both up and you've got a large balcony, which is fantastic. Everyone in the cabana class actually has access to the cabana deck on deck 9, which is that picture on the bottom right hand side there, a private area only for cabana class guests. Now you'll see in the pictures, both the top right and bottom left, there is a sofa in both of those. It doesn't matter what cabin type you are in. If you're in this brand new cabana class, if you are interiors or all the way up to suites, every single cabin type comes with a sofa. So that just kind of highlights the additional space that we've given back to guests, which is fantastic. And one of the best things about these new cabins is the beautiful looking bathroom that you can see in the top left hand side there. So we've done away with that kind of shower curtain that obviously starts fondling you first thing in the morning, constantly trying to get it off you. That's all gone now. You've got these beautiful showers with the glass windows, and it's just far more modern and just much cleaner. Just looks far better. Now, coming out in October is our brand new Sanctuary collection. Now, this is only on board the Sun Princess, and this is applicable to selected balcony cabins, mini suite cabins, and all our suite options. Now, not only do all of the cabins booked in the Sanctuary collection come with Princess Premier, so that's all your drinks, your Wi-Fi, your specialty dining, absolutely everything is encompassed. You've got your own special dining restaurant only for the Sanctuary guests, and it gives you access to the Sanctuary upstairs, which is located on deck 18 at the aft end of the vessel. So that is exclusive area only for our Sanctuary guests. It's basically the best version of a ship within a ship experience. Those wanting those little finer details will absolutely adore that. Now, as I mentioned before, on this ship, there are more restaurants and more bars than any other ship in our fleet. We have more than 30 restaurants and bars. Some of the kind of family favorites that people have come to know and love. We've got, in terms of specialty dining, we've got Crown Grill, we've got our Sabatinis. We know and love these, but we've got some brand new restaurants on board. We've got, as you can see pictured there, a brand new teppanyaki restaurant, which is so much fun. I did this with all my family members. There was 24 of us all gathered around 2 of these plates, and we just had the best night ever. It was so good. Something else that is brand new to the ship is Dario's Butcher's Block. Dario is probably the most famous butcher in the entire world, located in Tuscany, Italy. All of the beef is sourced from his farms in Spain. He believes it's the best region to get the best beef. And it's all Italian kind of family style dining as an experience. So you don't just have your own steak and, chips sort of thing. They come out, they talk about the different cuts that you're going to enjoy that evening. They're then cooked. As you can see, you can actually see the chefs cooking them, preparing them. They'll then portion out all the steak, and then they'll come around and kind of share it family style. Also comes with a bottle of Chianti, and it's a truly wonderful experience. We've got Chinese hot pots. We've got Kai Sushi. We've got Catch by Rudy. We've also got Love by Brito. There are so many specialty dining restaurants, so many experiential dining, but of course, not everybody wants to be paying for those dining experiences. If food is just more of a necessity and you just want variety, then the Sun Princess comes, it's got that in spadefuls. So at the very back of the ship, you've got the stunning Horizons dining room on deck 6 and deck 7, a 2-tiered glass restaurant, always providing those princess staples that people know and love, available for, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And of course, then up by the pool area, we've got our salad bar. There is a Mexican taqueria. There is a pizza, slice by pizza. And you've also got the kind of burger, hot dogs, those different kind of things, all included in your standard cruise fare. There's alfresco dining available down on deck 9 towards the back end of the vessel, and also located on deck 9 is our reimagined eatery. So I know buffet is a bit of a dirty word with some people, but it is a kind of reimagined take on a buffet. So many different delectables to be enjoyed, and all parts of your standard dining experience. You are never ever going to go hungry or thirsty on the Sun Princess. Making the most of the Sun Princess's offerings would be to take Princess Plus or the brand new Princess Premier. Now, Princess Plus, 65 Australian dollars per person per day, includes one Wi-Fi device, and also includes the Plus beverage package, which offers drinks up to the value of 22 Australian dollars. Alcoholic beverages are capped at 15 included per day. Unlimited juices, unlimited bottles of water, things like that. We've got 2 premium desserts. We've got 2 fitness classes. We've also got 2 casual dinings included. On board this ship, you can enjoy the fantastic Alfredos as part of your casual dining. And it will also include the Ocean Now, which is our on-demand service. So basically, imagine the scenario. We're enjoying the Mediterranean sun. We're just thirsty. We're reading a book. It's a great book. I don't want to move. Order the drink and we will bring it to you. You want some food? Order it, we'll bring it to you. The idea is you are on holiday, let us look after you. That's what it's all about. Now, we have recently made some changes to our Princess Premier, which is now 100 Australian dollars per person per day. This will come with 4 Wi-Fi devices included and will also include the Princess Premier drinks package. This gives unlimited alcoholic beverages up to the value of 30 Australian dollars. So this is designed to just include as much as physically possible to make sure our guests are enjoying everything that the ship has to offer. Unlimited juice bar, premium desserts, fitness classes, photos. I love the photos. I want my photos. You get unlimited digital as well as prints included. And one of the kickers, if you are on the Sun Princess, the Princess Premier is borderline a must because it includes unlimited specialty dining. When you've got that many specialty restaurants on board, you don't want to be making the decision, well, we can only do one. Get Princess Premier. It will include as many as you can get in there, basically. It's unlimited specialty dining, and you're going to enjoy as many of those different restaurants on board. Absolutely incredible. Also comes with priority or reserved seating in the theatre for our production shows, which is really, really great. Now, one thing I will say about our Plus and Premier, whenever we're talking about Europe, we are talking about ships that have USD currency on board. So when the ships are in Australia, New Zealand, we have AUD currency on board. When the ships are outside of Australia and New Zealand, it's USD. Now, we're talking about drinks packages, for instance, on Plus is up to 22 Australian dollars. On a US ship, it's up to 15 US dollars. For Princess Premier, it's up to 30 Australian dollars, but on a US ship, it's up to 20 US dollars. That's basically the exchange. Currently, the US dollar is absolutely killing us. It's basically $2 to 1. So if you're going to get a glass of wine, that's 15 US dollars, it's actually 30 Australian at the moment. The exchange rate really is not working in our favor. And myself and my wife, we took out Princess Premier whilst on the Sun Princess and instantly realized we made the best decision that we possibly could. Specialty dining was 59 US dollars. 59 US dollars with the exchange rate is probably closer to about 110, maybe 115 Australian. So just one specialty dining is more expensive than taking out Princess Premier, which includes all of those benefits. So definitely it proposes the best savings that you possibly can do. And the great thing is you are going to be paying this in Australian dollars. So if you want Plus, it's 65 Australian. If you want Premier, it's 100 Australian dollars. So it is by far the best opportunity to make some savings and ultimately make sure you're including as much in your holiday. Give your wallet a holiday as well. Come on board, get Plus or Premier, and you will absolutely love it aboard our ships. Now, joining us in October 2025, the sister to the beautiful Sun Princess, the Star Princess will be joining us with some sailings from Barcelona before doing the iconic cruise, which is a transatlantic over to the Caribbean, and then migrating up towards Alaska in 2026. So many passengers do love to be one of the first on board a new ship. So October 2025 is the opportunity for anyone who's wanting to be one of the first to come aboard the Sun Princess. So let's talk about some destinations, and we'll kick it off with the gorgeous Mediterranean. We have a plethora of offerings ranging from 5 nights all the way up to an 11-night offering, which is called a Grand Western Mediterranean cruise. We actually have some Grand Voyages, which are much, much longer, but these will give you plenty of options depending on where you would like to cruise. Now, quite often you'll hear people say, I really want to go to Europe, but I want to do Spain, France, and maybe a bit of Italy. That's your kind of Western itinerary. So you can see that sailing on the left-hand side there. That's an 11-night cruise, which is going from Rome to Barcelona. Some people are saying, no, actually, what I'm really wanting to get to see is the Adriatic, the Ionian. I want to see the Greek Isles. I want to get up to some more unique places like Kotor, going up towards Dubrovnik. We're going to Albania in 2026, a beautiful part of the Mediterranean. So we have plenty of different options depending on which side of the Mediterranean that you're looking to cruise. Now, when cruising in the Mediterranean, we have 3 main home ports. Your home port is where you're going to be coming aboard the ship or disembarking the vessel. Okay, so the 3 main home ports are Barcelona, Civitavecchia, which is the port for Rome, and Piraeus, which is the port for Athens. Now, what we also have through 25 and 26 are our 7 and 14 night options, 7, 14, and 21 night cruises, which basically go from Barcelona to Rome, 7 nights, Rome to Athens, 7 nights, Athens to Barcelona, 7 nights. If you want to go longer, you can do 14. Barcelona to Athens, Rome to Barcelona, Athens to Rome, or you can book it as a full 3-week cruise, round trip from Barcelona, round trip from Rome, round trip from Athens. So there is plenty of flexibility making the most of it. And when we're talking about those longer sailings, these are the chunky ones, including some of our Grand Voyages. Now, you don't have to necessarily be in the Mediterranean to cruise the Mediterranean. We have so many great options which will ensure you're getting into the Med, but you can actually do it round trip from Southampton. Now, we know we've got an awful lot of British people over in Australia. I am one of them. So if you've got clients, guests heading back to the UK to see family and friends and loved ones, they don't necessarily need to do that internal flight, to get to Barcelona, Rome, Athens. Have a look at those options, round trip from Southampton. There are some amazing cruises which go all the way up to, as you can see on the bottom left there, that 31-night Mediterranean marvel, taking in Portugal, Spain, Italy, Greece, Turkey, as well as one of the little jewels found in this region, that is Malta. Anybody who's been to Malta will know just how amazing it is. Now, at the start and end of the season, typically the ships are migrating across the transatlantic, so you get some really great Grand Voyages, which include that iconic cruise. And again, so many people want to do a transatlantic. It's kind of like bragging rights. Yep, I've done a transatlantic. It's one of those kind of iconic cruises. So potentially people want to utilize the ship as a mode of transport as well. So they want to see a bit of the Mediterranean, but actually they also want to explore maybe parts of North America. Depending on the itinerary, you can do North America and then the Med at the start of the season, or cruise in the Mediterranean and then head over to North America at the end of the season. Now, there are plenty of cruises available in both 2025 as well as 2026. Something that is also available are our cruise tours. Now, for 25 and for 26, we have a plethora of cruise tours available. Now, one that we have highlighted here is the Best of Spain. So this will actually get guests into Madrid, then down to Valencia, and finally to Barcelona to jump aboard one of our ships where they can cruise from Barcelona. This one here is highlighted a 14-night cruise over to Athens, but it does attach to a number of different cruises. We also have the Best of Italy, which will start in Venice. You will then get the train from Venice to Florence, then a coach from Florence down to Rome, where you will embark one of our ships and then do a cruise around the Med from Rome. And we also have the Best of Greece as well. So that's going to get to Delphi. It's going to get to some more unique places. I can't remember. I can't actually say the name of it. It begins with a K. And then you'll actually head down to board the ship from Athens. Now, we know for a fact that guests aren't necessarily just going to fly over, do the cruise and come home. They're going to want to explore these destinations. Why not book a cruise tour through Princess? It's one complete package. It's one complete price point. It's all commissionable for all of trade, which is fantastic. And because it's operated by Princess, it's completely seamless. You don't need to worry about potentially missing a transfer or trying to book and do this, do that. It's one click. It's nice and easy for absolutely everyone involved. Now, time to talk about the British Isles, which is a very, very popular cruising destination. And of course, the British Isles is a relatively small island, but what better way to see an island nation than by the sea? It just makes sense. Now, I love this picture of Buckingham Palace, absolutely beautiful. We have a number of different cruises in this region, ranging from 10 nights all the way up to 12 nights. It just depends on where it is that you would like to see. So it's not just the British Isles, we'll also go into Ireland or Northern Ireland if you want to see Belfast. It's flexible based on what destinations the guests would like to see. Some itineraries also do dock into Le Havre, which is on the Normandy side of France, the gateway through to Paris. Now, most people wanting to see Paris will probably want to spend a week there or at least a long weekend, but potentially they've already been to Paris, but they missed the opportunity to climb the Eiffel Tower or go to Notre Dame or something like that. Then it's going to be a really great opportunity to see Paris in a nutshell on a cruise. Now, one of the main reasons why people go on a British Isles cruise, especially from this part of the world, is to see the Scottish military tattoo. Now, this happens in August, and our cruises that happen in August will often have an overnight in Greenock to ensure that guests can get off the ship to see one of the most amazing events that you can actually see and enjoy in the world. It truly is fantastic. Now, you can see an example of a Scottish military tattoo shore excursion there. I'm not going to lie, it isn't the cheapest. But getting tickets to the Scottish military tattoo is not easy. Really, really not easy. People queue up for days when they become available. We secure a good couple of hundred tickets to make sure that people who want to get there and see it, that we can get them there. The tour is it's about 12 hours as well. So you're going to see the entire show of the tattoo. And also, you're not in the cheap seats. You're really, really close. We've got great location in terms of seating, so you're going to get a truly incredible experience. So if guests are interested in doing the Scottish military tattoo, make sure they are cruising a British Isles cruise in August. Make sure that overnight is there, and of course, ensure that they are booking nice and early their shore excursion so that they're not missing out. Now, it's not just the Mediterranean that has cruise tours on offer. Of course, we have the Ring of Kerry, which is going to get you from Limerick, Shannon, to see the cliffs of Moher, then down to the Ring of Kerry from Killarney. And then once you get to Cork, we'll have a night in Cork. We will then fly guests to Southampton to undertake their cruise, their British Isles and Irish cruise. So this is just, again, a really great way to make sure that guests are getting the most out of this destination, all booked nice and easy, booked through Princess, fully commissionable, and it's just seamless. It just makes life so much easier for everyone involved. Now let's talk about Northern Europe. Now, I had the pleasure of working aboard Princess ships for a number of years, and they sent me quite literally everywhere in the world that you can cruise, apart from Australia and Japan. Since then, I have done those cruises. Quite often people say, what is your favorite cruise that you've ever done? My answer every single time is the Baltic. Alaska is just mind-blowing. It's so beautiful. Panama Canal is wonderful. Canada, New England is one of the best cruises in the world. But I tell you what, the Baltic region is just absolutely incredible. It really will take your breath away. Now, depending on how long guests have, so we have cruises ranging from 7 nights, which will dip into that beautiful Norwegian coastline. It will include places like Bergen. You'll get to see some of the fjordlands of Olden and Skjolden. But if you've got a little bit longer, that 14-night cruise that you can see in the top left-hand side there, not only will that get you into some of the most gorgeous parts of that Norwegian coastline, but you will also see Iceland. Now, quite often people will say, you know, this is a Norway and Iceland cruise, but it only stops in Reykjavik in Iceland. We're not doing that. We genuinely want you to see as much as you physically can in this amazing island. So we have 4 ports of call, as you can see there, making sure that you have the opportunity to see and do as much as you can, getting up to Akureyri as well as Isfjorda. I can't say that third one, but of course we will go into the capital of Reykjavik. There is so much to see in Iceland. By having 4 ports means that you get to see it all. You get to see the Blue Lagoon, you get to see the geysers, and you also have the opportunity to swim in basically it's like a crevice in the earth. It's where the European as well as the American tectonic plates meet, and there's a crack in the earth filled with glacial water, considered the purest water in the world, and you can swim and look down into basically where these 2 plates meet. Just unbelievable. It's the only place in the world that you can actually do that, which is really, really cool. If guests have longer, then of course you can see more. Now, the cruise on the right-hand side is actually 2 cruises that have been booked as one. So the first cruise is getting guests into the Baltic Sea, getting into some of the best places in the world, going into Copenhagen, into Oslo, into Stockholm, into Helsinki, as well as one of my favorite ports in the entire world, the port of Tallinn, which is the capital of Estonia. Now, anybody who's seen the film Shrek will know The Land Far, Far Away. The creators of Shrek used Tallinn as a template to create that fairy tale location. That just kind of gives a hint as to what to expect there. It is absolutely incredible. Once you complete that fantastic Baltic cruise, you stay aboard and then make your way all the way up into the Arctic Circle. This happens in June, at the end of June into July, and you will get the land of the midnight sun. You will not get any nighttime on this cruise. Once you're heading up towards Tromsø and Honningsvåg, you're right up in the Arctic Circle. Just a breathtaking part of the world. And then on the way home, you'll dip into South Queen's Ferry to have access to the capital of Scotland, that is Edinburgh. Again, we have tours that you can do here. We've got the Ring of Kerry, which does attach to that Iceland and Norway cruise. But what we are bringing back for our 2026 season is the amazing Imperial Treasures of Europe. Now, this attaches with that Baltic cruise that guests are jumping on board in Copenhagen. Okay, the Imperials of Treasures will have guests exploring 2 nights in Budapest, 2 nights in Vienna, 2 nights in Prague, 2 nights in Berlin, and then undertaking a Baltic cruise. It is the ultimate tour and probably the most exciting one that, in my personal opinion, that guests can have to explore in this region. It really, really is exciting. Now, I know Princess Easyhair doesn't always necessarily offer the best value in terms of flights, but it does have so many benefits, including that flexible booking. So you can actually secure your flexible airfare, and that can be changed up to 45 days before departure. And there is absolutely no penalty. You can choose the airline, you can choose the class, you can choose the seating and all the things that you normally can in any other GDS. And of course, you've got that 24/7 support. And the protection. So if guests were, for instance, flying not directly, but flying into Rome to board the cruise the same day, it's a long way to go, but people do it. If for some reason their flight is delayed and they're going to be getting in late, if it's been booked through Easyhair, we know about it. So the ship will wait for the guests to make sure that they're not going to miss the departure. If for some reason they are just going to get in too late, we give them a guarantee that they will get aboard the ship and the very first port of their cruise. So there's some benefits there, but of course, make sure you're going through your GDS and securing the best opportunity for your clients. Again, if you're cruising in Europe, you're going to be cruising, experiencing the Medallion class technology. It is the best in the business. It's all about empowering our crew to deliver the best service available in the cruise industry, making sure that guests feel at home and that they are definitely taken care of. All their needs. It's very preemptive service, and it will genuinely be a game changer if you have never cruised with Princess. So with that, I just want to say a huge thank you so much for joining this presentation. I'm excited about Europe. Hopefully you are too. 25 and 26 seasons are out now, so make sure you are getting your guests to book early, because with our landmark sale, we have our best price guarantee. Okay, so by booking early, you are guaranteeing the very best price available for your guests. So booking early definitely has its benefits. Now with that, I'm going to share a very, very short video, but I just want to say again, a huge thank you for joining this presentation. If you ever need anything, reach out to your sales manager, to anyone from our commercial team, your key account manager, or our national account manager. We're all here to support you in selling Princess. Thank you so much. And with that, enjoy the short video.